Hannah C. Boehler is the SGA President at NYIT-Com at Arkansas State University. Upon graduating from Ouachita Baptist University with a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science degrees, she moved to Jonesboro to begin school at NYIT-Com. Hannah was originally part of the class of 2022, but accepted a position in the year-long Academic Medicine Scholars Program, which she is currently completing. Since January 2021, she has spent most days teaching OMM, anatomy, and clinical skills to preclinical students, working on research in the lab, or catching up on sleep and snuggles with her husband Gary and dog Pip. Her passion for medicine, specifically in treating underserved populations, is in large part due to her upbringing in Russia and her several missions to South America during high school. Upon completion of a family medicine residency, she hopes to return to the rural South and practice full scope primary care. Primary care, sorry, y'all. Let me introduce you guys to Miss Hannah Boehler.
Hey everyone, can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Okay, so the topic of my talk is life, liberty, and the pursuit of medical degrees. But let's talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We fought for these ideals and we shouldn't settle for less. Yet, does it seem that we've replaced the pursuit of happiness with the pursuit of our degrees or a certain specialty, residency, grade, or class rank? Have we replaced the pursuit of happiness with the pursuit of leadership? These are things within our control, but what about the things that are not? Tragedy, hardship, illness, burnout. We aren't given a choice in these matters, and many of them are brought on, at least in part, by the pursuit of our education and our involvement in leadership. Reflecting on all of this yesterday, I felt very discouraged and overwhelmed. I wondered, do I have any power at all? And the answer is yes. To quote Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. I may not be able to change my circumstances, but I can control how I respond to them. I may not be able to change how someone feels or acts toward me, but I can kill them with kindness. I can refuse to give up on the pursuit of my dreams, but I must recognize that my dreams must always include happiness, if not for my sake, then for the sake of my future patients and colleagues. Dalai Lama says, happiness is the highest form of health, but we're not guaranteed happiness, just as our patients and ourselves are not guaranteed health. Does that mean that we should throw in the towel? Do we give up? Would we talk to our patients the way we talk to ourselves when the situation seems hopeless? No. We tell them to take it one day at a time, to build a support system, to take joy in the small things. We do everything within our power to ensure that that patient is able to walk away from us better for it. Many of you may not yet have had the privilege of watching a patient go from your OR table on the verge of death to holding your hand as they sing and walk themselves out of the office just a few weeks later. But I pray that you do, because that is happiness. Becoming a physician and being happy are not mutually exclusive. In fact, for us, they are very intimately connected. The patient I just mentioned came at a time when I was hopeless. Just a little over a year ago, one of my dear friends and classmates was murdered. I was angry and confused at the situation because it was entirely out of my control. And as I stood in surgery with this patient, I thought, what's one more thing? One more loss. They made it through the surgery, but the outlook was poor. And each day I'd visit for rounds and be surprised at the small improvements, but I was still waiting for the other shoe to drop. Although it is not always the case that the patients get better, this one was perfectly timed because I realized that my negative response to a good situation was ruining it. And I wondered how a positive response to a bad situation could change things. I realized that's exactly how Chloe, my friend, would have wanted me to respond to her passing. She would want me to encourage and love those around me and continue in my pursuit of happiness and my medical degree for her. Again, to quote the Dalai Lama, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. So I encourage you all to act and to be bold and tenacious in your pursuit of happiness and medical degrees.